All right, guys, here we are for the Climbers Points Race in the 692 1,000 category. I believe, though, this is a mass start. One loop of London Uprising. Very long, continuous climb on this course. I am feeling marginal today. Maybe it's going to go well, maybe it's not, who knows? That's why we're here, that's why we race them. If we knew the outcome before we started, there'd be no point. So, just gonna get into it with the group. Gonna try and be a bit self-contained on the climb, not fall victim to pushing too hard at the bottom, because it is gonna take a while to get to the top. It is first through the line, I believe. Not fastest through the line, but actually first. And that includes the climb and the sprint. And here we go. Okay, not sure why I'm off the front, but we'll take it. All right. We are very quickly going to make our way to the underground and then start the climb. Okie dokie. Off to a decently quick start here. A little breathing. Alrighty, gaps opening up here. Interesting. Just want to get into it today. Be in a good spot. Climb strong, steady. I'm still getting used to the new draft dynamics and how quickly it just pushes you off the peloton out to the sides. It's kind of weird. But all of us will learn it, and we'll learn how to exploit it. Okay. Very quickly through the first 1.5 kilometers, but still a long way to go. A long way to go. Let's tighten this left shoe a bit. There we go. That feels a little more secure. Don't want to be slip sliding around inside my shoes when the fireworks start. Okay, here we go. It's going to take a minute. Okay. Here we go. Steady push. All right. Finding rhythm. There we go. Okay. Whew. There's the end. Up and over. Steady. Bit of no man's land right now. Okay. I'm gonna get through this and then wait. Okay. All right. It's all about recovery now. Just spin the legs backwards. Going plenty fast down this hill. Just need to recover. Couple pedal strokes. I'll close the gap again. More of a downhill here. There we go. Huh. Losing these guys a little bit. Let's just get back. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna push hard around the corner. Makes this climb way easier to push early. Breathe and move. Let him dangle. Okay, nobody was serious about those moves. It's all going to come down to the hills. So. Okay. Just riding. There's no point in trying to keep these guys away. They're 1 second back. And the real work's the hills. So. All right. Just breathe in. Moving along. Trying to ride smarter than usual. Had a solid first climb, which got me into this group. Still have another like 5K of flat maybe. Flat and down. And then climbing again. So it's all recovery right now. Got 23 seconds on the next group. Okay. I don't know if there's points there. Doesn't matter. Little drafty boost. Okay. All back together. Huh. Okay. Uh-oh. Gotta push hard till the Wi-Fi comes back. That's what happens. Carry the speed of this second guy. There we go. No point. More downhill. 5K. Coming up on 5 to go. 3/4 of the way done. Ride the wheels. $4K to go. Last climb. Bottom's done. Let's get a new one. All right. All right. Okay, now the hill. Oh yeah. Inside, internal. There we go. Okay. Okay. Uh. 600 meters. He pulled all the way up. He's gonna get this finish. Good work. Mardon Bay, really, really good work. Thank you for towing me up that hill. Appreciate it. Okay. Those are a couple of bees. Really good bees. Whew. So, 3.8 for the whole excursion, watts per kilo. 3.9 for 20 minutes. It's decent. 4.9 for 5-minute power. So that's decent, closer to 5. 5.1 for a minute, so not much deviation from 5 minutes down to a minute. That makes sense because most of it was steady climbing where these power numbers are coming from. And 15 seconds, 7.9, which is likely just the first push across the first line at the top of the first hill. Definitely wanted to give Bay the finish position ahead of me. He pulled us all the way up the second climb. It would be disingenuous for me to stay here. All right, I guess I hadn't finished London Uprising. What a great way to finish it. And group ride, group race. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Let's use our feather to get up this. Then we got a nice downhill coming. So let's just enjoy this right now. Well, yeah, Bay pulled me all the way up. So Bay deserves that finish. If I had contributed more, yeah, I would have contested it. But I couldn't contest it, and I couldn't contribute it because he was just keeping the pace high enough that I thought better of coming around, which is such a key tactic in cycling. So he made me second guess just how much energy he had, how much he had left in the bank, all of that. So he kept me behind him. And I know what some of you are thinking, all's fair in cycling, and I should have tried to jump him, but yeah. Bay now asking if Willis was playing us with sticky watts. There did seem to be some accelerations and zeroed out, so maybe he was. I don't know. But kept us all honest, kept us working hard, and as you know, I've kind of got a weird thought process, which is if it comes to cheaters or those who rage quit, I'll play with the cheaters all day long. They're only hurting themselves, you know? I mean, this is so anonymous anyway, so I don't know what thrill there is to, you know, cheat the system, if you will, when all of us agree that sticky watts is not something you should be doing. But that's on them. The rage quitters, on the other hand, those are generally when it's not going somebody's way. And that is problematic in my mind, because if you quit, nobody ahead of you or behind you knows exactly where they stand. And even if you're the last rider, you could take a race from, what's the minimum, 4 riders or 5 riders? Whatever the minimum is to factor in to ZWIFT power. If you quit early, everybody's effort is discounted and nobody gets any points. So there's that, which is super selfish. So I've been advocating for, and hopefully you guys are with me, a penalty for quit racing. Should just penalize people for quitting. That seems pretty straightforward to me. So, but, you know, as it stands right now, ZWIFT has allowed anyone to quit for any reason without penalty. So, what do you think's going to happen? People are going to quit. So that's why it's on the community to rise up and band together. No rage quitting. No rage quits. Anyway, I talked about that yesterday in my ride. I don't need to get into it again in today's ride. So instead, let's look at the bright side. In yesterday's ride, I made it 12, almost 13 kilometers into a 40-kilometer race before I was spat out the back. And there were accusations of cheating and all this other stuff going on, and then I reviewed some of the tape and who the Zwifters were, and some of them are very high-profile athletes with national rankings and national finishes, so I feel like it checked out. And I got my daily dose of fitness. I was very able to burn all my matches within 13 kilometers and then have to adjust back down to try to keep it aerobic. But the problem was I'd gone into the red so many times that my heart stayed elevated regardless of how much I lowered my wattage. And that happens to me more often than I would like. So I've got to be real careful with matches and intensity to make sure that whatever I'm given is something I can give for the rest of the ride. I PR'd up the hilly KOM, which is like happens immediately in that race. You leave downtown and you just go up the hill. And I PR'd at 1 minute and 46 seconds. That is equaling my personal best, which I believe I set on a much shorter race with many more riders in the race. And so that was a good raw effort and indication that I was eventually going to get spat out the back, because the dudes up front did not let up. Today, pretty happy with the idea, especially on the first climb. Stayed seated, stayed within myself, buckled in for what was a long climb to put myself in a decent position. And so I'm happy with it. Held on decently on the second climb, so that was okay as well. Man, isn't this a real thumb to the eye when you're trying to warm down? Just a nice casual 14%. And I am out of gears. Cannot make it any lighter. So that's fun. Almost to the top. Man, that takes forever if you don't hit it at speed and power. But we are over. There we go. Let's start to click down. Find an appropriate gear to pedal with. Start with 10 until we gain a little bit more speed. So, I was, all in all, pretty good today. I got beat up by a couple of Bs. I have no doubt if I check their climbing power profiles, they're solid riders. But I was happy with how I handled the hills. That was good for me. And I wonder how, specifically the first climb, I wonder how that stacks up against my personal best. And in the second climb, I know it's not going to be anywhere near a personal best, but I'm still interested to know what I was able to do tired. So that matters just as much. And then I've actually got to pay attention to those guardrails and not do what I did yesterday, which is just reckless abandon to try and stay with the group. I knew that first climb yesterday was going to be murder, so I just embraced it. But if you watch the video, you see me come over the top and just a little bit of disbelief, a little bit of wow, because I was just buckling in for what was next. And my hunch was right that those guys were not going to slow down. They were not going to ease up. Very, very, very strong riders. And I paid for it dearly. So did everybody else. Okay. Guys, it is so awesome to have you watching this. I really appreciate all the commentary and the discourse that you guys are having. Some of you are making comments, and then other people are opining on your comments, and we're starting to build this community, and it's super supportive. You guys are supporting one another and encouraging one another, whether it's, you know, somebody had a tough day or they're coming back from illness or injury or whatever it is. It's so great to see some of the people who are watching this channel rallying around one another and encouraging one another. And that is absolutely what this is all about. We are all competitive. We all understand that there are wins and losses and hard edges and black and white, and that's why we're drawn to this. But it doesn't mean being a competitor means you've got to stand on other people's heads to feel better about yourself. It's just take the dose on the day. Yesterday, not a good day for me. I took it. Today, better day. I'll take it. Tomorrow, who knows what that brings. But that's why we embrace these challenges. If we knew the outcome before the finish, there would be no point at all in racing. So that's why you gotta buy the ticket, take the ride, if you know what I'm saying. You just gotta buckle in. You never know how a race is gonna develop. Whether you're on the front, in the middle, or off the back, it's not over until you cross the line. It's just the reality. If you embrace that reality. You can shy away from it. You can try and keep yourself in a bubble and protect yourself. not really extend, not dare, not fail. Well, where's the fun in that? Where's the growth in that? Where's the improvement in that? It's missing. So here I am, just pedaling the best I can in my barn. Waco, Texas, 86 degrees inside the barn. Humidity is at 65. I like to show you guys the thermometer, and every time I show you, you'll see the humidity immediately goes up from where it is at 65. Well, I guess if I don't put my finger over the, there we go. So there we go. That's the temp. That's the humidity. I think what I've been doing in the past is maybe covering this. And that's changed the humidity. Yeah, immediately humidity goes up because I've accidentally put my thumb, my sweaty thumb, over humidity. So 86 degrees, about 65% humidity. So I go through 2 bottles an hour when I'm in here. It's just, it's the name of the game. Two bottles an hour just to get through the racing. Okay, I feel like I'm sort of meandering in my thoughts and rambling on. Sometimes they're valuable to you guys. Sometimes you're probably like, what is this dude's deal? I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know what my deal is. But I love to be here. I love to race. I love to race with you and against you. And I'm rooting for you guys. Whatever you're training for, whatever racing you're doing, I want to see you move up. I want to know what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish. A lot of you have stated you want to get into the A's, and I can't wait for that, because then we're going to race against one another. We've probably been in races and mass starts together, which is rad, but I would love for you guys to just stick it to me one day, for anybody who's aspiring to be an A. Or a strong B. A lot of the strong Bs are just absolutely sticking it to me. We saw that today. 2 guys in the Bs. They raced very smart, very well, very strong, great climbing. And Bay, you are absolute MVP of this ride, because I was just glued to your wheel the best I possibly could to make it up to the top of that hill. So very, very, very good effort, and thank you for allowing me to dig in so that I didn't drift back and lose any more placings. I really do appreciate that. Which is why I wasn't going to try to jump you. And I probably couldn't have anyway. I think if I tried to go around you, you probably would have just out-sprinted me, because you just looked steady and strong the whole way up. Had me doubting myself for sure. So good on you, my friend. All right, it is time to warm down. So for now, that's all from me.